Welcome to the Bathroom Cleaning Podcast. We've designed these podcasts so that you can use them while you are cleaning. So you are welcome to play this on your laptop or a tablet and watch it, or you can quite simply put some earphones on and listen to this while you are cleaning. Now, I know cleaning motivation can be really difficult. You're speaking to the person right here who struggles with it the most. So sometimes it would be nice if you had like a little coach or like a cleaning parrot sitting on your shoulder, just telling you in your ear what it is that you need to do. And that's kind of my vision for this right here. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. And I wanted to let you know that this video has been brought to you by Makers Clean, our sister company, where we sell premium microfiber cleaning tools and so much more. You can sign up for the email list, you can check out and see what we have. It's all available over at makersclean.com or makersclean.ca. So the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna walk you through the products and tools and techniques, the PTTs, of the cleaning that you're gonna do in the bathroom. You're gonna prepare, and once we've got the PTTs done, we are going to follow the Clean My Space 3-wave system. Now, if you don't know what that is, I have a video introducing you to the Clean My Space 3-wave system. I also talk about it in the Clean My Space book, and if you didn't know we have one, we do, and I'll put a link to both of those in the description down below. Now, one other thing about cleaning products and tools. It's really important to have the right products and tools to get the job done right. That way you're not wasting time and feeling frustrated. So I'm gonna share what they are for you with the bathroom. I'm gonna give you some options of things that you can add in if you have some additional bathroom challenges while you're cleaning. And I'm gonna have a link to my Amazon store. We do receive a small commission if you click on it, but it'll at least show you everything that I recommend. You probably have a lot of this stuff on hand already. And I also have some DIY cleaning recipes that I absolutely love. If you know Clean My Space videos, I love talking about these. So I'll put some links to those in the description box as well. Now, once we've got our products and tools set up, we're just gonna think through some techniques that we might want to employ ahead of time before we start cleaning. That way we're cleaning smarter and not harder. And this is what professional cleaners do, is they go in and they kind of do a quick assessment of the space. And that really helps them hone in on the products, the tools, and the techniques that they're gonna use and come up with like a really quick and casual cleaning plan. So just go ahead and stand at the door of your bathroom that you're gonna clean and have a look at it. Look at the shower, look at the tiles, look at the tub, look at the rugs, look at the towels, look at your counters, look at the baseboards. What about the walls? What about the mirror and the sink and the faucets? Those are the key areas in the bathroom. When you looked at them, did they look really dirty? Or did they look kind of okay? Or were they mostly clean? Did they kind of look like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna tackle that? Whatever you noticed, just keep that in mind, because that is going to inform the products and tools and techniques that we're gonna use. Now that you have that assessment in place, you might decide right now, I only have time to do the mirrors, the sinks, the faucets, and the counters today. And that's totally fine. But that's what this assessment is giving you. It's kind of giving you permission to look at the bathroom and say, yeah, this is too much for me. I'm only prepared to do this. Or it gives you the ability to look at it and say, you know what, I got this. I need to put 30 minutes on the clock and see how much work I can get done. So now that you've done this, I want you to go and collect your products and tools that you're going to need. Because once you have that, I want you to put that at the foot of the door so that you have everything you need and you don't need to leave the room. Oh, I should also remind you to get a drink and go to the bathroom, but you're in the bathroom. So if you need to use it, just go ahead. Now, the products that you're gonna need for the bathroom are as follows: a glass cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner, tub and tile cleaner. This is also a soap scum remover, toilet bowl cleaner, and a disinfectant. You might also want to get yourself a mold and mildew cleaner if you notice that you have some buildup in your shower. And you might also want to pick up some CLR, which can help to remove any limescale or hard water deposits. Now, when it comes to cleaning tools, there are definitely some important ones you want to make sure you have in the bathroom. Double-sided sponge, a general purpose microfiber cloth. You'll actually want several of these to get the job done. You're going to want a plush or a thick cloth. so that you can dry your tub and your tiles after the work is done, a flat weave microfiber cloth to clean your mirrors, a cleaning toothbrush, steel wool or a magic eraser if your tiles and glass shower door are particularly dirty. You're also going to want some paper towel, and I'll leave it to you to decide if you're going to use a vacuum to get rid of any hair or dust or debris on the floor, as well as a mop. When I clean the bathroom, I just do it by hand because I can do the baseboards at the same time and it's so much quicker. But again, I'll let you decide. You might also want to grab a step ladder if you have high ceilings or you need to reach something up top. The most important technique that you want to use in a bathroom is pre-treating. And at this point, I want you to have a look at your tiles, your tub, your toilet. Those are the 3 areas that you will most likely want to pre-treat because they probably have some buildup or at the very least need a disinfectant to sit for between 5 and 10 minutes to do its job properly, aka disinfect germs. We're going to talk about the shower first. So if you notice that there's buildup, I want you to grab your tub and tile cleaner. I want you to make sure that everything's removed from inside the shower and the tub, and then I want you to spray or treat the walls. Now, if you have a liquidy product, you might have to spend a little bit of extra time spraying, particularly up high. You want the product to sit for about 5 minutes or so it can do its job, but if it's dripping down, can't really be that effective. If you have a foam product like CLR Brilliant Bath, that's a great product to use because it'll simply cling onto the surface. And if you're using a DIY paste like dish soap and baking soda, you can quite simply dip your sponge or your cloth in there and apply it to the surface. It'll sit and do its job. The beauty is that while this is pre-treating, you can go ahead and do some other cleaning tasks, and by the time you get back to these areas, they're going to be ready for you to clean. Now, when it comes to the toilet, you might want to spray some disinfectant on there if that's what you need to do to your toilet today. Or at the very least, you can lift up the seat and you can apply your toilet bowl cleaning product to the bowl so that it can have a couple minutes to sit and do its job. All right, so we have our products, our tools ready to go. We've employed our first important technique in the bathroom, pre-treating. We are ready to get going on wave 1 of the Clean My Space 3-wave system. And that is, you're gonna pick a starting point in the bathroom or anywhere. It's really great just to pick the door. It's the easiest place to go. And you're gonna work your way clockwise around the room, collecting garbage and clutter. So anything that doesn't belong in that room, cups, towels, scatter rugs, trash, anything like that, you're just gonna bring out, you're gonna put at the foot of the door. Now, the bathroom is a pretty small place to clean, but I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to do that. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna lighten your load a little bit by reading you some funny cleaning stories from Reddit. So, first story, I worked retail and once a month a window cleaner lady would come in and clean the store windows. She told me that one time she was cleaning the windows from the inside of an Apple store, and a man walks by and licks the outside part of the window she was cleaning. She was upset since she had already cleaned it and would have to go out and clean it again, but she responded by telling the man, "Good thing I haven't cleaned that side." The man walked inside, got upset, and went to speak to a manager. Like, who is this guy? Okay, if you're still working on wave 1, I got you. I have another story that's funny. I've told this story before, but here goes. I work on a small team of only women. We usually have about 3 people in the office on weekends, and we're on the 3rd floor. My colleague decided to pump breast milk in her cubicle and told us not to come over until she gave the okay. Not unusual. Totally fine. Right as she started pumping, completely uncovered, a random window cleaner descended from above and she let out a shriek. I don't even think he noticed right away, but then we all watched him quickly try to scurry away from the window. He never came back to clean those windows again. Wave 1 is done. Let's get on to wave 2. So what you want to do in wave 2 is, again, start at your starting point, so at the door, and you're going to work your way around the room in a clockwise manner, kind of, let's call it an hour at a time. Now, in these waves, you're going to work from the top to the bottom. So you want to pay attention to all the different areas of the room that are going to need cleaning. Now, the bathroom's a little bit different because you have a lot of different areas to contend with, and you're going to want to clean them all sort of in one way. So what I do instead in the bathroom is I kind of look at the walls on one side of the room, and I'm like, okay, does anything need to be spot cleaned? So what you can do here is grab some all-purpose cleaner and a microfiber cloth, or you can also use a magic eraser if you want to. And you can just look for any spots, watermarks, toothpaste, anything like that that got on the wall, sort of just moving your head up and down, looking around and seeing if there's anything that needs to be wiped or touched up. Now you can continue around the rest of the bathroom and do this real quick. This shouldn't take very long. And at the same time, if you notice anything up at the ceilings, you can take your mop pole and you can wrap a microfiber cloth around the end of that and just quickly catch any of the dust. And if you notice anything down at the baseboards, just make a mental note of that. We can take care of that at the very end when we're mopping the floor. Okay, let's get to the shower and the tub and the tiles. I already recommended, if you were doing any pre-treating, to remove everything from there, but if you haven't done that, now's the time. Now what you want to do is work around the shower surround area first, and you want to go from the top to the bottom. So I like to work section by section. I spray my product onto the surface, and then I grab my double-sided sponge, and I'm using the scrubby side. Now, depending on the type of tile that you have or material that you have on the shower, you wanna make sure that the tool you're using isn't going to scratch. So if you're not sure, you can do a little patch test right now, somewhere in sort of an inconspicuous area, and just make sure that the pressure you're applying with the tool you're using on that surface isn't gonna cause any scratching. So you wanna wet your tool, and then you wanna start scrubbing from the top, working your way to the bottom. And to do this, I use the S pattern. Now, depending on how severe your glass shower door is, you can use something simple like glass cleaner. You can use a magic eraser. Those are really great at getting away hard water spots. You can also use a little bit of superfine steel wool. Make sure that you're using water with it to remove any hard water stains. Again, you can use a product like CLR if you're really struggling. So just choose what you need to use. If you have those little areas in your shower doors, like those tracks that get a lot of buildup, you could use a cleaning toothbrush, you can use a magic eraser, you can use a little bit of steel wool, and you're gonna wanna let your product sit there for a little while to break down any of that buildup. Now, I'll give you some time to do this job, and once it's done, you can apply the same techniques to your tub. But you do want to pay attention to notice if there's any soap scum here, because if there is, you're going to want to make sure that you're using a mildly abrasive product, again, both on the shower walls and the tub. This is going to help remove that soap scum and make it so that you only have to do the job once, and so that you can scrub less. Again, it's all about working smart, not hard. Here's another window cleaning funny story. I do mainly high-rise, so rope access, and there are a lot of people who forget to close their curtains and blinds. So if you live in a building, usually you get notice that the window cleaners are coming, and that should flag you to close your blinds. Plenty of naked people, mainly old though, an elderly person on the toilet, that was probably my most awkward, a few people offering me coffee, tea, soft drinks, alcohol, interesting choice, scaring the life out of people who had no idea we were coming. The worst experience I've had is probably the first time we arrived in a new building and had no idea how to get up on the roof. The elevator went straight into the penthouse apartment. Oh my gosh. So my colleague and I called out but got no response, so we called out again, this time louder, nothing. So we start casually wandering around this apartment looking for stairs or a hatch, anything. After a few minutes, we hear the most rage-induced shouting, and a sleepy-looking man in his underwear comes bounding out of his room and chased us out. He had no idea who we were and why we were in his apartment. We apologized profusely, and after he calmed down, he was actually pretty embarrassed. No one told him we were coming, so it's understandable that he got upset by being woken up like that. All right, here's an interesting one. I had a friend that washed windows in Silicon Valley, made pretty good money for a low impact job. He turns out one day to a 3-story building and noticed a very jovial meeting in a conference room. Champagne bottles and glasses all over. Something was being projected on the wall, and he noticed that there was a large number in green. He took that to mean profit. When he finished the job that day, he looked on the side of the building and remembered the name of the company. When he got home, he dumped $20,000 of his savings into stocks of said company. He never told me what the company was or how much money he made from it, but he definitely had enough to pay off his RV and buy a new F-150 Raptor to tote around with. All right, so at this point, you're probably done or close to being done, your tub and your tiles. So what you want to do is give everything a good rinse to remove any soapy residue. And then you can take your plush microfiber cloth and dry everything. Alternatively, you can use a squeegee to do this job, and this is just going to give everything a nice shine. Then you can take all of the bottles or any of the items that you remove from the tub and the tiles, you can give them a quick wipe and put them back neatly where they belong. And let this be a reminder to you that the squeegee after a shower or bath can be your friend, because the more you use a squeegee, the less work you have to do cleaning your tub, tiles, and shower. Okay, let's move on to le toilette, the toilet. Now, if you pre-treated this area already, great. The bowl, the areas on the exterior are doing what they need to do. If you haven't done that, at this point, you want to spray all-purpose cleaner on the exterior area of your toilet. And we're going to move kind of step by step from the top of the toilet all the way down to the bottom. So I'm using all-purpose cleaner here, but if you want to use disinfectant, you can. Just remember, you have to pre-treat with disinfectant so it can do its job. So I'm going to start right at the top of the tank of the toilet and just spray the exterior. Then I'm going to spray the flusher handle, the top of the lid, the underside of the lid, the area around the hinges, the top of the seat. I'm going to lift it up, spray underneath the seat, the area around the top of the bowl, and the area around the exterior of the bowl, as well as on the floor of the toilet. Now, one thing I didn't mention is cleaning up kind of pee splatters around the toilet. If there is a lot of that, you can grab an enzyme cleaner. Now, you're going to put some toilet bowl cleaner into your toilet bowl and let that sit. Next, you're going to grab some paper towel and just retrace your steps that you made with the all-purpose cleaner. So you're going to start wiping the top, the tank, the flusher, and as your paper towel becomes saturated, you can just toss it and grab a new piece. Then you're going to clean the top of the lid, the underside of the lid, the top of the seat, the bottom part of the seat. You can clean the area around the toilet hinges. You might want to use a cleaning toothbrush for this. Give that a wipe with paper towel. And then you can clean the top of the rim, the outside of the bowl as well, and the area on the floor. Now, once that's done, you can take your toilet bowl cleaning brush and you can start by dipping it in the water and just giving the toilet bowl a scrub. I always like to start by working my way from the top down to the bottom. So you really want to get right in there between that area, just underneath the ledge of the toilet bowl. Scrub around. Now, don't put your face too close. You definitely do not want any splashback from this. And then you can finish up by taking that toilet bowl brush and sort of pushing it in and out a few times down the chute. Once this is done, you can flush the toilet and hold the bowl brush in there to let it get rinsed. And then you're going to take the toilet bowl brush, hold it at the rim of the toilet, place the toilet seat and the toilet lid down. And this is going to allow that toilet bowl brush to drip dry. Now, if the area around the toilet bowl is still a little bit gross, don't worry, we can tackle it later, but it might be something that you want to pre-treat so that by the time we get to the floors in wave number 3, we can get it clean. Okay, so we are well into the second wave and we're going to move over to the mirrors, the sinks, the faucets, and the counter. This is an area that has a lot of activity and we want to work, again, smart, not hard. So we're going to start from the top, work our way to the bottom, and we're going to do that by spraying the mirror. You're going to use your glass cleaner and you're going to let it sit for maybe 30 seconds just to loosen up whatever's on there. And then you're going to use the S pattern, which is starting from the top and swinging your way back and forth until you get to the bottom. Now, if you notice you have some toothpaste splatters and they're driving you crazy, you can just spray the area and let it sit for, a minute before wiping it off with a microfiber cloth. You could use a little bit of cornstarch mixed in with your glass cleaner. I know that sounds weird, but that'll sort of remove whatever that buildup is. And if you have any like hairspray or anything kind of sticky, you can even use a little bit of rubbing alcohol to lift that off. Okay, once your mirror is clean, and this shouldn't take you very long at all, then you can pre-treat your counters, your sinks, and your faucets. So you want to make sure that you remove everything from the countertop. Again, I just put this at the foot of the door to get it out of the way and to clear up my surface. Now, once your surface is clean, you want to make sure that you're choosing a cleaning product that is safe to use for that particular surface. For me, I have stone counters in my bathroom and I use soap and water, just a plain all-purpose cleaner. It works really well for me. But find something that you like that works for you. So you want to spray this down. Any areas that have a particular amount of buildup, you can spray a little heavier and you can let them soak for a bit of time. Once that's done, you can spray your sinks and your faucets using the same solution. Now, every now and then, if I notice a lot of buildup on my faucet with hard water, I can use something like white vinegar to help remove that buildup. You can also use a product like CLR or something that has a bit of abrasion in it, something like a Barkeeper's Friend, the pink stuff, etc. The same thing goes for your sink. If there's nothing really gross or built up in the sink, a little bit of all-purpose cleaner will do. But if you need something with a bit more abrasion, this would be the time to add that. Now I'm going to use a general purpose microfiber cloth. I'm going to fold it in quarters, and I'm just going to start wiping the counter, working my way from the left to the right. If it's a really large counter, you can split it up and work section by section, using the S pattern to go from the top to the bottom. All right, once that's done, you can then move on to cleaning the faucet or faucets. And again, you just want to wipe that. You can use a little bit of water, same all-purpose cloth, and you can polish it with your plush cloth. And finally, the sinks. If there's nothing much going on in there, a general purpose microfiber cloth should do. And if it's in a bit of rough shape, you can use your double-sided sponge or even your magic eraser to tackle this area. Once that's done, you can give it a rinse and then dry it with your plush cloth. All right, I'm going to give you another story while you're working on this area. This one is kind of an eek. All right, it was my first apartment and I was living with my older boyfriend who had been living on his own for a while. I had gotten berry juice all over the countertop and I guess I let it sit too long because I couldn't get it off. So I figured bleach works on white clothes. It should work on a white laminate countertop. I tried a little and nothing happened, so I decided to let it sit. What was a light purplish stain became an obscenely hideous bright yellow stain. I panicked and started Googling what to do, and I even asked on Reddit, this was years ago, and everyone said I would have to replace it. Months later, I found a box of magic erasers under the sink, and that was the day I started believing in magic. All right, and this is why we don't mix cleaning product. Here goes. I was 19 and helping a friend who had just bought their first house. She's about 15 years older than me and had a bunch of spray cleaners, etc., that she brought over to her house. I was left to work on the kitchen and bathroom, and she went to investigate other rooms. Doesn't sound like a good friend. She made you do all the hard work. I hadn't used commercial cleaners as a teen, so I didn't really know what should be combined or not. I merrily sprayed a lot of them onto the filthy shower and tub and vanity. I mixed several in the toilet bowl and let them soak. What could go wrong? I went down to the kitchen and pulled the stove knobs off, filled a bucket with boiling water and chemicals and threw those in and sprayed the stove top, letting that soak. I returned to the bathroom to clean it. My friend found me quite ill on the bathroom floor. We aired it out and flushed water over everything. She was horrified. And then I said, oh, I did that in the kitchen too. At this point, all the numbers were melted off the stove knobs and display. What a disaster. She had never used the stove and she had no idea what any knob did or what settings they were. We made guesses and tested and made marks with a Sharpie. Lesson learned, never mix chemicals. And 25 years on, we are still friends and still laugh about it. All right, so now that this is done, you can pick up the products that were on your counter, and I always like to do a wipe and replace. So have a damp microfiber cloth, and just as you're putting your items back, soap pump or soap dish, toothbrush holder, etc., just give it a little wipe, especially at the bottom and on the sides. You know, they get grimy over time, and then replace them nicely. So the good news here is that the bulk of the bathroom cleaning is done. We're just about done wave 2. Now, as we move on to wave 3, we're going to be doing some of the finishing touches as well as the floor. So this is when you have to decide whether you're going to get a broom, a vacuum, a mop, or if you're just going to do it all by hand. around. So it's at this point as well that you want to replace any towels, scatter rugs, washcloths, or anything like that that you removed. You also want to empty the garbage that you put at the edge of the door, because you'll be replacing your garbage can in the bathroom. And this is also the time where I want you to pay attention to the baseboards, as well as that area around the toilet that I asked you to pre-treat if it was in rough shape. Now, it's up to you if you want to use paper towel to clean that area around the toilet. I like to do that. Some people don't care. I will leave that to you. You be the judge, choose your own adventure. So if you're vacuuming or sweeping, obviously you only want to do this if the floor is dry. And if you're going to be doing this, start at the far edge of the bathroom, wherever the toilet is, vacuum or sweep up as much as you can, and bring everything forward to the edge of the bathroom. That way you're kind of sweeping everything out, and you're sweeping yourself out the door, not the other way around. You don't want to sweep yourself into a corner. Okay, now that you've finished this part, you want to get out your wet tool, your mop. So if you're mopping, you want to use the floor cleaning product of choice. You can use like an all-purpose cleaner mixed in a bucket. You can use just a spray bottle filled with soapy water. That's what I tend to use, or vinegar and water, whatever suits you for this space. So you can spray this on the floor or put your mop in a bucket, drench it with the product, wring it out, and start doing your mopping. Again, you want to start from the furthest corner away from the door and work yourself out the door. Now, the way I like to clean the bathroom floors, and I actually shouldn't say the way I like to clean the bathroom floors, I should say the way I choose to clean the bathroom floors, because I don't particularly like it, but it's very efficient, is I do it on hands and knees. So I take one of the microfiber cleaning cloths that I use to clean the countertop. It's been rinsed, obviously, and I use a little bit of that soapy water spray that I was telling you about. Now, what this allows me to do is to also wipe any dirty baseboards or areas around the floor that need that extra attention. So I'm gonna work section by section, tackle the baseboards, tackle the floors, using the S pattern, constantly working my way toward the door, scooping any debris along with me so that I'm taking it toward the door and out, not leaving it where it is. And this kind of lets me get the job done in a one fell swoop action. So I can kind of sweep and mop and clean the baseboards all at the same time while I'm doing this. Once this is done, just take a second and enjoy the clean bathroom, the look, the smell, the feel. Ooh, good for you. I mean, your back, your knees might be a little bit sore, but you did some really good work there. All right, well, as you're wrapping up and sort of gathering your products and tools and sort of getting everything out of the bathroom as you finish your job up, first, I just want to congratulate you. Cleaning the bathroom, no one is going to tell you thank you or good job, but I am here to tell you that, because again, I want to make sure that you feel motivated, but that also you feel really proud of the work that you did, because I'm sure your bathroom looks amazing right now. And this is the first of many cleaning podcasts that we're going to release. I would love to hear your feedback on it in the comments down below. And while you're down below, I just want to remind you, I've got some links and videos there for you to check out. 3-wave system, DIY cleaners, link to that Amazon list for products, and a few other resources that I talked about. Now, if you're not already subscribed to the Clean My Space channel, make sure that you do, because these videos are coming out fast and furious. I've got lots more podcasts coming your way. And again, you can just pop this on and listen to it or watch it anytime you are cleaning your bathroom, and just play it, and I will be right there as your little cleaning coach parrot thing sitting on your shoulder, motivating you and coaching you and giving you some tips so that you can get the job done. Now, if you want to hear a little bit more about cleaning, I've got a video for you. It is the cleaning trends that I predict for 2025. You can see it, it's right over here. And again, a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time, or I'll speak to you next time. This is a podcast, so it's a different vibe.